I never know what to think when trade rumors come out like this, because Elliot Friedman is a very well-known and very good insider, but this one is fully off the map. So during his 32 Thoughts podcast, he did kind of go off the rails and set a bit of a blaze online, talking about the possibility of an Elias Pettersson trade. Not too sure how Vancouver Canucks fans are going to feel about that. I mean, come on. Now, my thought process is he just said it's inside his own head on the 32 Thoughts podcast. However, it kind of has me a little bit skeptical of that. In my opinion, is this: when insiders say stuff like this, they must know something. They just might not want to necessarily get it out right now. Like, why would you randomly just mention that? It's really, really weird to me. Now, I don't think Buffalo Sabres, on the other hand, let's just talk about the teams, Vancouver and Buffalo, which the trade was going on about. Now, there have been a lot of trade rumors around the Buffalo Sabres right now, and specifically Dylan Cozens. He is a young center that is getting paid a lot of money, but apparently he's been getting a lot of calls around the NHL, which makes a lot of sense. I've touched on this in one of my last videos, but I did say that, he is a centerman, and he is a highly touted talent, although it's not working out in Buffalo. But again, there's lots of players that leave Buffalo and all of a sudden they remember how to play hockey again. And Bowen Byram. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres do have a number of really good young players. So the full trade rumor that Elliot Friedman was talking about was Dylan Cozens, Bowen Byram, for Elias Pettersson. Oh boy, that is a struggle session for me. Because if you look at it from Vancouver's point of view, it's like, Byram, I think Byram's really good. I like Byram a lot. But the downgrade in terms of Elias Pettersson for Cozens is so steep that, I just can't imagine something like this happening. Now, when we look at Elias Pettersson's performance this year, he hasn't been his above a point per game self, at least to start the season. He has, I think, about 26 points in 30 games, which isn't, he usually enjoys a performance of being above a point per game. Just 3 seasons ago, he had 100 points, I believe, and then he had 89 points in about 82 games. Like, this is a number one superstar center. And my take on trades is very simple. Whoever trades the best player genuinely is not winning, unless they're just moving on from the player to start a rebuild or something like that, right? I mean, do you think that the Vancouver Canucks are in that position right now? Absolutely not. I would say they're a young, budding team that wants to be able to, become consistently competitive in the next decade. So why would they even think about trading one of their best players? If not their actual best player, although that's kind of debatable. I would say Hughes is probably their best player in my opinion. Now, they would receive a top 4 type defenseman. Byram is really, really good. Let's be clear about that. He is averaging about 23 minutes time on ice for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, I know you might not say that that's impressive because he plays for the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, they are one of the worst teams in the league. I think they stretched their losing streak to 11 games, which is just so sad, especially for a franchise that has a lot of really good fans as well. But it's so strange what's happening there. And then they would get Dylan Cozens has massively been underperforming. I really haven't been a fan of his performance this year for the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, they paid him pretty big. I think he's getting paid 6 or 7. I mean, I'll put the contract up on the when I edit the video, but he is getting paid quite a bit. I would say, though, from Buffalo's point of view, I bet you any money that they would jump all over this. Like, for example, if I was Buffalo, I would be all over this trade. Let's say this actual trade was possible. You got 2 players, you're going to shake up your roster, you're absolute garbage. You've lost 11 games in a row. I'd be like, hell yeah, trade me Elias Pettersson. Absolutely. I would give them Cozens and Byram 100%. I mean, again, you could argue that the value is similar, but I think that the Buffalo Sabres would win this trade 100%. Now, when it comes to Dylan Cozens in and of himself, we know that he is going to... he's going to get moved, but when you have this many trade rumors around a player, it becomes pretty striking that he is definitely going to... Not definitely going to be moved, but you're starting to hear a lot about this guy. And there are a lot of teams that are desperate for centers, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't think that it is impossible that he could get traded maybe this year or the next, hopefully this year, so we can have something to talk about. But I will tell you one thing. If you have a team that is struggling as if the Buffalo Sabres are struggling, you are going to see a lot of moves happening. And honestly, it might make sense. I mean, at the end of the day, when you've missed the playoffs this many times in a row and you're a forever rebuilding team and you just can't get it together, why wouldn't you try something new? Why wouldn't you try and say, hey, you know what, we're going to do something a little bit different here and make a trade? Like, the Buffalo Sabres should be open to all possibilities, in my opinion anyway. So, I mean, from the Vancouver Canucks point of view, though, I would say absolutely not. Anyways, I am going to leave this video there. I thought I'd just touch on this 32 Thoughts podcast trade rumor. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it, guys, and make sure to have a great day.